Minnesota selects Kadeem Zhao, a catcher from Loyola Marymount University. Baltimore.
All right, so we've seen here a lot of flexibility. This is a guy who started out at first and in the outfield. He's moved behind the plate. We typically see that kind of combination compile here, but it does give him some flexibility.
Yeah, he missed time with a broken thumb and then came back and was hitting really well, and then had another injury that kind of shut him down. Went out to the Cape Cod League a little bit, was at the draft combine as well. Right-handed hitter. He doesn't swing and miss a lot. There's a little bit of a lengthy path, but it's hit over power. I think he has a chance because he's so athletic that he could stick behind the plate. But he also has played all three outfield positions, so if catching doesn't work, there are some options there so they can get that bat up to the big leagues.
Kadeem Zhao, I was born in 2003 from Northridge, California.
A right-handed hitter, Kadeem Zhao has the chance to be a solid offensive performer. He rarely swings and misses with an aggressive early count approach. His swing can be a little slow to start with a lengthy path, but he's pretty efficient through the zone once he gets his bat going. It's more of a hit over power approach, but he has the chance to hit a lot of doubles with a swing geared to drive the ball to right center field in the future. He can run into some home runs, especially to his pull side, and some scouts think there's more raw pop to tap into. Zhao is athletic and runs well, showing some defensive versatility that intrigues evaluators. He hasn't been seen a ton behind the dish, but he is agile and has plus arm strength that could play there. He's seen time in all three outfield positions, and while he's best suited for a corner, he is capable in center. With the injuries behind him, Zhao could draw a lot of day two interest thanks to his potential flexibility and potential with the bat.
Minnesota selects Jaime Ferrer, an outfielder from Florida State. Baltimore.
All right, so back to another Seminole here. 22 home runs on the season, including a multi-homer game against Boston College.
Yeah, that's the big thing that stepped forward for Ferrer this year. He hit over his first 2 years at Florida State. Then he hit well in the Cape Cod League, but it was more like hitting on base and there wasn't a lot of power. Then he really tapped into that power from the right side of the plate. He slugged .665. It might translate, especially to the pull side. The hit tool, we'll see. He's a little stiff. I don't know if he just started selling out for power too much, but he's a capable defender in left field, and if that power translates, that's a good corner outfielder.
Minnesota selects Caden Kendall, an outfielder from UC Irvine. Baltimore.
Some 9-game hit streaks here. He's also had a couple of grand slams while working his way through. By the way, one of those was at Dodger Stadium. You talk about some big league power. He is plenty comfortable there. He's also on a couple slugger watch lists.
Yeah, he was taken a year ago in the 10th round and went back, and so this helped him. He had a good year at Irvine in 2023. He responded with a really good year this year. Decent tools across the board. A little bit of a Tyler O'Neill compact physical body comp.
Derek Bender, a catcher from Coastal Carolina University. Baltimore.
All right, so we go back to the Chanticleers here. Power is a 50, just 22 games as a freshman before he really ripped out onto the scene last year.
And the big thing for him was the Cape Cod League. He was MVP at the Cape Cod League All-Star game. He was second in the batting race. He was first in steals, and he's not even a big runner, but he stole 18 bases in 31 games in the Cape. It's more of he's a 40 runner. Scouts are still trying to figure out how that happened. He's got a power-oriented swing. He's caught a little bit, but he's not a catcher. It's a first base, so he's going to have to hit. But the Cape really put that kid on the map.
Who would you profile him as?
I'm trying to think of a guy who has I don't have to come back to that one. The picks are coming too quick.
Derek Bender set a Coastal Carolina League record with 83 RBIs as a sophomore and then tore up the Cape Cod League. Won MVP honors at the Cape All-Star Game and championship with the Bourne Braves, while finishing second in the batting race at 374 and surprisingly first in steals with 18 in 31 games. Bender's right-handed swing is designed to crank home runs to his pull side, but some scouts wonder how much power he'll produce against better pitching. He generates his pop more with strength than bat speed and frequently chases pitches out of the strike zone. He doesn't make a lot of hard contact and showed improved plate discipline while on the Cape. Despite his shocking summer success as a base stealer, Bender is a below-average runner, not particularly athletic. He spent much of his sophomore season at DH while also playing a serviceable first base. Barely saw time behind the plate because teammate Caden Bodine is a superior catcher, but Bender might be able to hack it as a fringy receiver with an average arm.
Minnesota selects Eli Jones, a right-handed pitcher from the University of South Carolina. Baltimore.
All right, well, Friday nights in Columbia, South Carolina, we're all for the big righty. Ground ball pitcher, sinker slider combination, and we're starting to see a lot of teams really love a guy who can get some quick contact outs.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what Eli Jones does. He pitched really well early in the season for South Carolina, tailed off a little bit toward the end of the season. Not really any plus pitch, but you highlighted, Melanie, the sinker and the slider. You know, the sinker's 91, 92 up to 94. The slider, it's more of a slider cutter, you know, mid-80s. You know, and like you say, he's not going to strike guys out, but he's going to get ground balls and try to, you know, get quick outs, be efficient. That's his goal. He's a guy, Tommy John surgery in 2021, and bounced back from that.
And again, another guy with that SEC action. We've seen so many of these who are just able to step into that next role of baseball pretty seamlessly. Interesting to see where he ultimately starts at the pros.
Minnesota selects Jacob Hall, a right-handed pitcher from Oral Roberts University, Baltimore.
Oral Roberts sending a pitcher this time to the Minnesota Twins. Jim, what can you tell us?
Yeah, he's your Summit League Pitcher of the Year. Jacob Hall, 6'2", 175-pound right-hander. And it's more strikes and stuff. He just pounds the strike zone with 4 pitches. Fastball sits in the upper 80s. He's got a changeup at 82. Curveball at 78. Slider a little bit harder than that in the low 80s. So you're getting a strike-throwing right-hander. And, you know, maybe you can add something to a pitch.
Minnesota selects Jason Doktorczyk, a right-handed pitcher from the University of Nevada, Reno, Baltimore.
All right, while we wait for the pick from Baltimore, we take a look at Doktorczyk here. All-Mountain first team for them. 2 times Mountain West Pitcher of the Week. Really got off to a strong start in the month of April overall. And again, just continued to roll through the season. 6-4, 91 punch-outs through 84 and a third innings. Maintained a 3.95 at ERA. And he basically led the Wolfpack in just about every other statistical category for pitchers.
Minnesota selects Peyton Carr, a third baseman from High Point University, Baltimore.
High Point with some pretty decent athletic facilities, and they like to churn out some baseball players as well. Only 27 games, though. He did ultimately get injured, took a lot of time at the DH spot, averaging .417.
Yeah, he only played 1 game last year, too. He had abdominal injuries this year, so he missed much of the year. But hit 13 homers, slugged .864 in those 27 games. He was limited to DH, third base when he's healthy. He's got a big leg kick. I was watching a little video of him, and he's got a big leg kick. But power, obviously, is his ticket.